welcome to the 93rd running of your mother. No, wait, that's just on the banner.
Whoa.
I am very attractive, and with me as always is the Ty Domi of the Tie Rod End. It's Michael Magus.
Oh, thank you. Although I don't really appreciate being compared to Ty Domi.
Wow, old cement head. You hating on old cement head?
Not a big fan.
Just because he played for your Toronto Raptors. I mean, Rangers.
No. It was just he was an enforcer. He's top-notch enforcer who could play a little bit. Wasn't a complete waste of space on the ice, but wanted to get paid like an actual star player. And the unfortunate part is that the Toronto Maple Leafs actually did.
Well, he was a star, regardless of talent. And the year he did spend, I think it was only 1 year, maybe two, in Winnipeg with Solani.
It was like 3.
Was it 3? Well, those were, I think, his best years. And it kind of proved that he can play. It's just that people didn't ask him to really do that a lot.
Oh, yeah, no, like by the standards of hockey goons, I think he was pretty good. Let's see. He spent 3 seasons with the Jets, 92, 93 through 94, 97, during which he scored 13, 19, and 8, so 27, about 40 points over the 3 seasons with a boat-ass load of penalty minutes, of course. Finished his career with 245 points in 1,020 games. So about 1 point every 5 games. Which is not terrible, but it's not good either. Anyways, we are here to finalize the Sunday GT Challenge for the summer. And we are here at Laguna Seca in the deserts of California to establish that. This famous track, home of the corkscrew, home of the kink, home of the Andretti hairpin, home of the rainy curve, which is a deceptively difficult part of track. And we got 9 cars on track today with Xavier Castagno-Meniz leading the way from Pedro Gomez, Max Simmons, Sean Kinney, Spencer Taft, Dash Franzen, Dan French, who you see on screen right now, Remco Intitima, pardon me, and Fred Ross, who is making his debut in the series. So that's very cool. We've seen Fred Ross before. He's participated in a couple of race room stuff. I do believe this is his first ACC race with us, though. It's the first time in Assetto Corsa.
Could be.
Championship positions here. So Max Simmons is your champion. Nothing can be done about that. He's about 130-ish points clear of second place Thomas Nopek, who's not even here. Second place is up for grabs between Nopek, who's not here, Xavier Castagno-Meniz, Sean Kinney, and Dan French. That's at play right now. And in the club championship, it is still very much up for grabs there because it is a 5-point lead for Jeremy Reeder. Now, the interesting thing is Reeder's not here. So if you're Spencer Taft, who is 5 points behind him, all you have to do is finish. And the championship will be yours. The team's championship long wrapped up in favor of the Red Bull racing crew. That is Taft, Reeder, and Ayrton Arsenault. They are well ahead. And the AXRT crew is pretty much guaranteed second. 905 Racers, pretty much guaranteed third. Nitro Corsa, pretty much guaranteed fourth, so there's not much to play for there. So, unfortunately, there's not a lot of championship on the line here, but second place in the overall standings could change hands here today, and, that in itself is worth going for, and we should get some good racing. As we await the countdown here for the race.
Then we'll have a nice 3-4 hour warm-up, and then we'll get to the race.
Only 25 seconds to go here till the race. Less than that, actually. Interesting to see Pedro Gomez back. We haven't seen him in a while, and when he's been here, he's been very, very rapid. But unfortunately, technical problems and gremlins have largely derailed his season when he's been here and has relegated him to a very part-time role.
Well, he's only going to get paid $5 an hour then.
I don't know. Maybe he's getting paid more than that. Maybe he's getting paid less than that. I don't know. We get to see them take the corkscrew here at very slow speeds. They'll be coming through here very quickly, and we're going to see a number of people take some interesting lines through the corkscrew, I would imagine. will say apologies to the field. The stewarding for this race will be delayed as I am currently away from home. And obviously that's also hindering my ability to prepare for the 3D speed race that's coming up in 2 days. But,
Neo's been exiled for political reassignment. He's in a special camp.
Not really.
Special camp for special boys.
All right, here we go. We're just waiting for that green flag.
Green light, give it
And the green light is on, and we are headed down to the Andretti hairpin, aka turn 2, because turn 1 is that like really small cake there at the start that, well, you take it full throttle. Max Simmons on the inside there, holding off Sean Kenny. As he follows Gomez and Xavier Castaño-Muniz through. Let's see if Gomez can get... Oh, Gomez can get the lead, so the BMW M4 hits the front. Porsche down to second. Everybody else kind of in the same spot by the looks of it. Although, a really good start by Fred Ross. He's up into 6th place after qualifying dead last. He's that banana yellow Lamborghini in the background. So we rock with champion Max Simmons, who is here kind of racing for nothing. He's got the title all wrapped up, and he's just going for bragging rights, going for the fun of it.
Let's see if he can extend the lead out to 72,000 points.
Well, he cannot do that.
What if he gets all of the rings and gets the zippers and hoards all the red shells?
I was like originally thinking you were going with like a Thanos thing there, but now I understand we were going Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario Kart. Gotcha.
Correct.
Someone actually compared Jocelyn Edwards' hairdo from the last UFC card to Sonic the Hedgehog. Give it up for real Sonic the Hedgehog.
Fair enough.
Simmons going around the outside there, but nothing doing at this time. Gomez is getting away out in front. No! Too deep there. Can Xavier hang on into turn 3? Yes. Porsche remains ahead of the Mercedes.
Our Lord and Xavier.
Our Lord and Xavier. Castaño-Muniz. There is a guy in the endurance race that I am signed up for, but I think I'm probably going to sign out of, just because I'm not going to have time to prepare for it. His name apparently legally is Jesus Christo. That I thought was pretty funny. His parents are delightfully blasphemous.
Enjoyable.
Oh, Max Simmons on the inside of Rainy Curve, bulldozing Castaño-Muniz out of the way, and Sean Kenny says, "Thank you very much." He'll move into 3rd place. Castaño-Muniz, Kenny battling over that 2nd place in the championship with Dan French. French is currently back in 6th place, so not looking great right now. Battling with Dash Franzen. As you see Castaño-Muniz fall down the ranks after his rubbing with Max Simmons. Your favorite kind of racing bar.
Diddly-doo. And also a pretty good sandwich. That rubbing sandwich with the little slaw in there, sauerkraut.
I think Fred Ross has hit a problem because he is well off the back of Remco Ingetima at this point. So a mistake for the banana mobile. Xavier trying to get back past Sean Kenny. This is a pretty key battle because again, these two guys, along with Dan French, are playing for that 2nd place. And if they knock each other off, I mean, Thomas Nopek could still take 2nd place, despite not being here. And it will be Xavier back into 3rd. And Spencer Taft in the background in the Red Bull Audi. The team has been very dominant this season, despite the lack of a pro driver. Max Simmons going very, very slowly. Drops back 2 spots. I wonder if he had to have made a mistake off of the corkscrew. So the corkscrew, we haven't seen the corkscrew really bite someone yet. I think we just saw our first victim. Oh, Sean Kenny given the absolute hip check to Spencer Taft. Looks like he is going to give the spot back and oblige by the gentleman code of conduct that we do allow.
You don't have to throw your gauntlet down and challenge him to a duel.
Well, see, by letting him back past and assuming that Taft doesn't want to pursue matters, the stewards will turn a blind eye to that contact.
And a deaf nose as well.
Since I am the steward, I can say I ain't going to look at that because Spencer did not report it.
That is right.
I do believe Sean acted in accordance with the spirit of racing by giving that spot back.
That's that song by Rush, right? The Spirit of Racing.
That is not it, but I would love Rush to do a Spirit of Racing song. Dan French is toppled down to 8th place, so something happened. Max up at the kink from Spencer Taft. And Sean Kenny gets the spot back into the corkscrew. So Gomez still leads, or Gomes, depending on the pronunciation.
Actually, I believe it's pronounced Jomez.
That's a lot.
What?
So I want to say Gomez, but at the same time, I'm also aware that one of the few Brazilian Major League Baseball players in existence has that name spelled that way, and it's Gomes.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
Perhaps he is French. Perhaps it's pronounced Gomez.
Well, he's Brazilian, so it definitely is either the Gomez or the Go. Losing it on the curb there is Spencer Taft, and he goes into the wall. The Audi is not going to like that. Sean Kenny getting all the pressure taken off of him. So Gomez leads from Castaño Muniz, Simmons, Kenny, Taft. Pardon me, it's not Taft anymore. We need an update on the timing board there, because I believe it is Franzen now in 5th place. Get that notice. Pretty much, yep, there we are. Where did Taft rejoin? Did he get it back in 6th place, or is he fallen back further? He's fallen back further. He's behind Ingentima and Dan French. Might be also behind Fred Ross. We'll find out. Nope, he's ahead of Ross. So Ross still at the back. Sean Kenny with the Ace High Straight livery. Still weird seeing cars with, because I'm used to watching Formula 1, Formula 2, so on, big league racing where there's tends to be a fair number of sponsors. Even at local races, there tends to be a lot of sponsors. So the fact that, you have a car like Sean Kenny's or Fred Ross's or Pedro Gomez's who have no sponsors is still very jarring for me as a racing fan.
More dick pill stickers.
Or the only sponsor he would have would be on the rear wing there. If we could get a look at that, there's something there. The game has a couple of pre-made sponsors that it can put on the rear wing, such as Thrustmaster and Fanatec, the makers of most of the sim gear in the field, I would imagine, along with Logitech. A couple of guys will have more pricier setups, but tends to be the majority.
I have all of my gear custom assembled in the Himalayas.
Well, you have Logitech gear, if I recall correctly.
I do, actually, yeah. I was asking you earlier about, or the other day about somebody, because I couldn't remember anything about him.
Dan French going side by side with Remco Ingetima. He'll take that spot.
Somebody was having an issue with the G29 something or other, and I happen to have a whole G29 set that I don't plan on ever using, so if anybody wants it, you pay for shipping and I'll send it to you. I don't care. And that's not like I will literally send it to you for the price of shipping. I am not going to use it. I'm not interested. I got it for free, so you can have it for free plus shipping.
There you go. G29 is a good. I had a G29 for a really, really long time. It served me very well. It's a robust wheel. It took a fair amount of abuse. It was still working. Before I upgraded to the Thrustmaster T300, which was not really an upgrade so much as an upgrade over the damaged Logitech wheel I had. Although I will say this, I will give Logitech endless props for this. Considering the G29 is a base wheel, like you know, the bottom of the line, it comes with really good pedals. Like compared to the Thrustmaster equivalent, which comes with these shitty pedals that, if I don't remember if I've told this story, I used them once in a race when I got them, and I flipped them over because they're so light and so flimsy. They just flipped over, and I crashed out of the race. And I was like, so I'm gonna go pay for the adapter to use the Logitech pedals with the Thrustmaster.
Oh man.
So Logitech does get massive thumbs up for, like, if you're looking for just like the bottom entry, like pedal wheel combo, Logitech all the way. It's cheap, and it is actually, there's no bells and whistles, but it's solid. It's functional. Whereas Thrustmaster really is not. I actually still have those Logitech pedals around as a backup pedals if I need them. Probably would feel really bad to go back from them now that I've been using Fanatec V3 pedals though for like some time, because the V3s have a load cell on the brake, and I imagine it would be an incredible shock to go back to the Logitechs now. I had originally given them to RC, our mutual friend, and then her father bought her some Thrustmaster TLC pedal, or LCM pedals, and she gave me them back.
Very nice.
That was when I got my V3s as well, which again, thank you to the community for donating on that. Oh no, Pedro Gomez coming to a stop! Okay, I do remember after the race, I'm going to talk about it now, there were some suspicions that Pedro's pace said that he forgot to fuel up.
Oops.
And that he was on qualifying fuel, and that's why he retired.
Oops.
If so, very embarrassing, but Pedro, if you would like to tell us what happened, please feel free. So Xavier Castagno-Miniz now in the lead for Max Simmons, Sean Kenny, Dash Franson, Dan French, Remco Intajima, Spencer Taft, and Fred Rosier. Or Fred Ross. I think Fred Rosier and Fred Ross are the same person, but I could be wrong. And that is going to be the end for Gomez. Disappointing that he didn't. I know the pit window's not open, so he could not have served his mandatory pit stop to fuel up. But if he was just running out of fuel, it would have been really nice with just a 9-car field if he had gone in the pits and fueled up and got to the end. Because, I mean, a really good result is on the table for all of these guys today. Because, I mean, you're guaranteed a top 10 if you just make it to the end.
Correct. So you get 95,000 points for 9th place.
You would get for 9th place. I need to find somebody who's finished 9th. It's 20-something points. Because see, 26 for 8th place and 22 for... Okay, so 24 points. 24 points for 9th place, guys.
That's pretty good.
Just bring it to the end. Just bring it on home. And for comparison purposes for Mr. Gomez, that would have been more points than he scored all season. Because he's only got 20 points coming into that. That would have put him past James Jackson, John Picha, Josh McLaughlin, Devin Tulloch, James Butler, Connor Costantine. No, not Connor Costantine. But, you know, would have put him up into about 24th place in the standings. But, alas, he is retired. We're down to 8 cars. It is this man, Xavier Castagno-Miniz, who is inheriting the lead. Now, Xavier has made you very sad, though, Myron, because it was his team that was running the Golf Porsche limits. As you can see,
No longer.
That is not a golf Porsche livery.
That means that I must become apostate to our Lord and Savior. Fuck that guy. I hope he.
Well, it
I hope
depends.
it burns in Ohio.
It depends. Was it his decision or was it Albert Arjona's decision? Xavier, you need to blame Albert in Discord, like pronto.
Correct.
You need to be like, he bullied me, pulled a gun on me, and demanded that we change the dynamic Porsches. Race is a little bit spread out right now, but of course we still have a pit stop to deal with. Pit window will be opening up in about 5 minutes, I do believe. From 40 minutes remaining in the race to 20 minutes remaining in the race. And we'll see the pit stops then. And not a lot to talk about here. I mean, this is a relatively high deg track, so I wouldn't recommend going too undercut or too overcut. Fred Ra's in the pits early, so unfortunately for him, I'm not sure if that's a damage reflection or perhaps he thinks the pit window is open. It's not. Perhaps he needs fuel. I don't know. we were speculating that Pedro Gomez ran out of gas, so it is possible that he did not fuel up enough to make it to the end, but he's going to have to do a two-stopper. Riding on the rear of Dash Franson and the Boots and Gideon Audi. The Spiker Formula One inspired livery there. I'm not sure if that's the case, but it looks like it. I was watching a video on Spiker F1, the extremely briefly existing team in F1 earlier today, so I'm seeing that livery everywhere.
Wasn't that the channel that had USC and Pros versus Joes?
No, that was Spike.
Oh, my bad.
Pros versus Joes. I always thought the most impossible Pros versus Joes episode was like, so you guys think you can hang on the gridiron? You're gonna have to try and sack Steve Mcnair. For those who are unaware and don't follow American football, Steve Mcnair is huge. Huge.
The size of a hoose.
He's linebacker sized. Might legitimately be the biggest starting quarterback of all time. There are some other candidates, but I'm having a hard time. I think Ben Roethlisberger is the biggest down. I'm pretty sure McNair is much larger than Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I'm not too sure who's bigger on that score. To be honest with you.
Oh, Steve McNair died. I didn't even know that.
Really?
Back in 2009.
Oh, damn.
He was 6'2", 230, according to Wikipedia.
Oh, Roethlisberger's still there.
I don't think he's... Let's see if we can get some details here. Multiple gunshots.
Yikes.
Okay, this is going to a bad place. There was a young lady involved.
Yikes.
Romantically. Murder-suicide, yeah.
Yikes.
For her, not for him.
Yeah, I figured.
For comparison, Big Ben is 6'5", 240. I don't think that number is accurate though for Steve McNair. He was definitely bigger than 230. This is of course Wikipedia, so never 100% trust. It's kind of like I was reading a challenge news article for MTV The Challenge, those who know the show, and they were describing one of the more impressive females who's been on the show in the last couple of seasons, about how no one wants to see her on the show again because no one would beat her. and they gave her height and weight, and I'm like, that can't be right. It's like they're like, she's 5'8" and 132 pounds. I'm like, that would make her like taller than my sister, the same weight, and she's built like a tank. I'm like, no. I watched too much MMA to believe that someone 5'8" with that build could make straw weight. No. Like Tisha, she had basically, for Byron, picture Tisha Torres, but like 6 inches taller.
Yeah.
No. That's not the same weight class.
Well, you know what they say, never ask a woman her weight, because they lie.
Pit window's open.
Well, no, but she's a CrossFit athlete, so you'd think that there would be a reliable, like, weight figure on somewhere for her.
Maybe.
Keep circulating here. No one is closer than like 3 seconds to each. Oh no, Spencer Taft is actually quite close in the background now. So this is the closest battle as Spencer goes into the pits. Spencer, of course, had a very banged up front end. I assumed he would be in the pits as soon as we had an opening in the pit window. He'll want to get that car fixed. Cannot be handling well. And of course, Max Simmons will probably be the last one to pit. That's our usual go-to. Oh, one of my coworkers has never seen The Gentleman, and it is available on the pay-per-view section of the hotel. So pick that up and watch that tomorrow.
Excellent. Make sure you use the duct tape so you can't get away.
Before my my stream. Dash Franzen coming up to Fred Ross. And that'd be a blue flag scenario. Through into the Andretti hairpin. And Spencer Taft has served his pit stop. Took a while doing it, so I imagine that damage was pretty time-consuming to repair.
I believe they had to replace his left ventricle.
He's still on pace, by the way, to take the club title from Jeremy Reeder, who unfortunately was unable to attend this race. And, of course, Ayrton Arsenault was unable to attend this race due to his medical school. And, Spencer, I salute you on the 2 greatest words in the English language. Default.
Well done.
Which is unfair. Spencer's had an excellent season. I think he's been incredibly impressive. He's, let's see here. Started the season incredibly well with a 6th place at Kyalami. Had a rough time at Barcelona at Oulton Park, but he was back in the top 10 for Silverstone, Zandvoort, Nürburgring, 9th place at the Hungaroring, 8th place at Imola, and 6th place at Suzuka. He's had a good run. It's a hard-earned title. Anytime you're a club driver and you're earning repeated top 10s over the course of the season in larger fields than what you're seeing here, you've done an excellent job. I do wonder if Dash Franzen had done the whole season if Franzen would have been in the mix for that club title. Because Franzen arrived for Zandvoort onwards. Wasn't particularly outstanding in the first 3 races, pair 12th and 11th, but then 5th place at Imola and 4th place at Suzuka have definitely proven a fine improving pedigree. Look forward to seeing more of that. Remco Ingetima, also a guy I'd like to see a lot more of. He's seems like a solid racer. 6th place. And I believe one of those is also from Holland and one of those is from Luxembourg. So there you go, the Benelux rivalry. Built-in heated blood feud.
Together they still shall storm the beaches of Denmark.
Denmark has some surprisingly nice beaches. I don't know if the temperature is all that nice, but scenically they're nice.
I think you have to tiptoe across the walruses to get to the water, though.
We have lost Fred Ross from the race. Looks like maybe some technical difficulties have taken the Brazilian driver. I think he's Brazilian, anyways. From us, joining Pedro Gomez in the DNF pile. Muniz is pulling away from Simmons, it appears, which is intriguing. Let's see what the next timeline is up here. Still 5.9. So he's doing quite well. Last lap was pretty solid, 24.3. His fastest lap was only a 23.7. So only about a little over a half second off. He's going to go around for another one. Remco in Tachima into the pit lane. Let's see what Xavier did this time. 24.4. So again, not too shabby. He is getting slower, though. Tires are degrading a bit. 40-degree track temperature. Oof.
Yikes.
32 ambient. Sean Kenny in as well. These tires will see some fall off. I mean, obviously, these are endurance tire models. They can go well over an hour. But you will experience some drop-off in terms of, like, absolute pace in an hour race. And, of course, we're approaching the halfway point. So this will be when it's probably ideal to start shedding your tires. Remco and Spencer Taft going a little bit early. Sean Kenny going a little bit early. But there could be reasons for that. In Taft's case, I think he pitted early because of the damage he suffered when he headbutted the tire wall. Still await Dan French, Dash Franzen, Max Simmons, and your race leader, the man you're looking at right now, Xavier Castagna-Muniz. Let's see, what's his lap time this time around? You've got 24.4, or 24.2. A little bit faster than the last couple. Sean Kenny rejoining. Of course, this is a very short lap, so the pit stop will almost assuredly put you a lap down until the leader comes in. Of course, we'll also see if Kenny just roars up to the back of him on the fresher tires. Have to change all four here in ACC. There is no option to change just two tires. And of course, these cars likely taking fuel in at the pit stop as well, although that is not mandatory. Dan French is in.
Let's load that boy up with hydrogen and let's go.
Let's see what kind of time Spencer Taft is doing here, because he is out of the pits. And onto the fresh rubber. 25.1. That was his fastest lap of the race. Although not particularly fast. You'd want to see him probably in the 24s, preferably. That puts him over a second off of the leader's pace. And actually even slower still, even though Castagna-Muniz is on the worn tires. He's still about 8 tenths to 9 tenths faster. Max Simmons, he did a 24.1 round.
And remember, kids, once you've gone through the pit lane once, the speed limiter is off and you can just go as fast as you want. That's what I've been told.
Once again, the ESR commentary booth would like to remind you not to trust anything on the rules that Byron Dirksen tells you.
What? Have I been misled?
I believe you've heard what you wanted to hear.
It's possible.
That is, that seems like your gimmick.
That is also possible.
Ooh, Max Simmons having a bit of a problem there. I have good news for you, by the way, in terms of ROH. We get a familiar face in the commentary booth is back.
Is that Tony Schiavone?
Mr. Rick A. Bonney.
Nice.
So Max Simmons continues on. We'll see if Dash Franzen does as well, because they are the only two that have not gone to the pit lane.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
So we have reached the halfway point. Sean Kenny back on the lead lap with Castagna Muniz into the pits. And Franzen goes around again, so it is still a battle of those two for who is going to go for the big overcut. If you hear me go silent for a bit, it's because Martin is PMing me, so you guys can, crucify him later.
You tell that guy I said that he can listen to me say this on commentary later.
Max Simmons, your current race leader, but effectively it should still be Castagna Muniz unless the overcut works to take back that 5 seconds or 6 seconds that was between the two of them. What do you think? Think Max can do it?
I think all he needs to do is hack the game files and erase time.
Still going good laps, 24.2 that last time around. That is a competitive lap time. Well, one would think that the undercut would be faster. Hopefully we get a look at what Castagna Muniz is doing for laps. So Dan French just did a 25.1. French appears a little bit off the pace today. Normally a guy you'd expect to be in the 24s, 23s, if that's the peak pace. And he is not today. Dash Franzen in the pits, so Max Simmons will be the last pit stop.
Shocker. We'll
see where Franzen comes out. I expect 4th place behind Castagna Muniz and Kenny. We'll find out. Was battling with Dan French, so it'll be interesting to see if French's undercut has worked out for him. We'll find out. Or if the overcut has worked out spectacularly for Franzen and Sean Kenny has been knocked out of spot. We'll see.
I believe Sasquatch will be coming out of the pit lane with a steel chair and will win the race.
Nope. Kenny has overtaken Franzen, and Franzen is yet to lead the pit lane, so there we go. So the overcut has not worked out in that regard anyways. Spencer Taft putting the pressure on Remco Ingetima. Now, if you're Spencer Taft, and you know that the only way that you won't win the club championship is to not finish this race, do you really make it a big deal about getting past the McLaren 720S of Ingetima?
Maybe not a big deal, but some kind of a deal. I mean, what are we out here just not to race?
Well, there's always the question of, like, what are you getting out of it? I just mean, I'm not saying, don't go for the overtake or anything. I'm just saying maybe a little bit more of a cautious approach that you would normally see.
Boring.
So, Xavier Castagna Muniz is coming up to provide the blue flag. Franzen came out about 11.5 seconds behind Kenny, so that gap has grown. And the gap to French has shrunk to 2.5. So interesting to see that going down to the wire, as well as Ingetima versus Taft. As Castagna Muniz makes his way through without too much issue. I would love if we could get the camera on Xavier as he goes across the line, because we get a look at what lap times he's posting. We know Simmons is doing low 24s. If Xavier's out there whipping up 23s, there's no real interest in the overcut. As through the kink, it is going to be Spencer Tapp moving into 6th place. Side by side through the corkscrew! Oh boy. And into rainy curve. This is exactly not the spot I would want to be overtaking if I was Tapp, but he's got the job done. Sean Kenny down at the 24s now. 7 last time around. Running ahead of the race leader, but still yet to pit Max Simmons. Will he pit this time? Franzen under pressure from Dan French. That gap has come down to 0.7 of a second. So looks like Franzen did not have a good outlap from the pits. And the pressure is on. Franzen has been pretty much a cool as cucumber type driver up until this point. Very good on the defense. Not very prone to mistakes. Can Dan French find a way through or find a way to provoke that mistake? Because he's fighting for 2nd place in the championship. Although, I'm not sure that 4th place remotely does it for him. Assume that it'll be Castagna-Beniz and Kenny who both went out against him. They're quite a ways up the road. And ahead of him overall. He's basically just getting enough points to overtake Thomas Nopek for 4th place.
And then you get the golden tuna can as an award.
Oh, interesting.
Which may or may not still have tuna in it. We don't know.
Sean Kenny, since his pit stop, has not been pulling off great lap times. Kind of in the high 24s. So, I think this might be working out for Simmons. Not really sure why, but the track doesn't seem to be carrying the cars as fast as it was early in the race.
I believe that's because of all the kangaroo snot that they have spread around.
It could be. Oh, very wide at the Andretti hairpin for Sean Kenny. And that will allow the race leader to lap through. Still would love to know what lap time Xavier Castagna-Beniz is running. That is the big question.
11 seconds.
Well, that would be very impressive. We know what Simmons has been running. He's been running low 24s for the most part. If Castagna-Beniz is running the same times or better, that gap is growing. But if he's having a hard time getting the car up to speed, this might really work out. Oh, he just did the fastest lap of the race as if to tell us something. So I'm not sure that this overcut is working for Simmons, but we'll find out as he is in the pit lane now.
Whatever you thought he was going, however fast you thought he was going, faster.
Well, it's got to be 23 something. Put it that way, or faster. Of course, that lap there from Sean Kenny at 27.1, not very fast, but that's because he had the off at the Andretti hairpin. So, handling his business. Also, not really racing anyone right now. Sean's got 10 plus seconds, 10 and a half plus seconds back to Franzen, and is quite a ways behind Xavier Castagna-Beniz. So he's just maintaining for that podium. As we go back to French versus Franzen. Franzen running at 24.9, which French did. Good lap though. Club leader versus 4th place pro car. Ace car, I should say.
Was it Hansen and Franzen?
Maybe. All we know is the name Dash. Cue the soundboard for the Flash Gordon theme.
That would be good.
Under a lot of pressure from Dan French. French is a pretty aggressive driver, so he is not going to be afraid to go for it, to roll the dice. At the corkscrew or the kink. Andretti hairpin would be a good spot. Rainy curve, maybe. See what the lap times this time around were. That was Franzen doing it. Not a very good 25.6. Not that it honestly doesn't really matter. These two are not hunting down Sean Kenny at this rate. They'd have to take out like 2 seconds a lap, which is unlikely to happen. But they're really just kind of competing with each other. They're quite a ways clear of Spencer Taft. On board through the corkscrew. Corkscrew is I don't think any race game really does it justice to how steep that drop is. That's a racetrack I've actually been to when I visited California. I went to Laguna Seca, and they will let you walk the track. It's a hike. It's a hike up that thing. It's not pleasant. I grew up in a city that basically was entirely on a hill. There was like no flat ground in the city that I grew up in. So everything sloping towards the lake, basically. Which meant that, like, going anywhere for me, because I was in the pretty north edge of town, going anywhere for me, great on the bike. Downhill, let's fly. Going home, not so great. Uphill all the way.
Uphill both ways through a snowstorm.
And I can assure you the gradient on the incline on the corkscrew is considerable, as Dan French is on the attack, heading into the kink. Pull side by side. There's the kink. And they will go through. French behind Franzen, heading towards the corkscrew. Do you go for it into the corkscrew? That's the big question. Doesn't look like he's going. Or doesn't look like he has the option. So, Franzen hangs on for now. Franzen does a very tidy line through the corkscrew. So I think that's largely covered. So I think the Andretti hairpin or this final turn here are probably... Oh boy! Are probably the best spots for Dan French to go for it. As you can see, Franzen rather wide through the Andretti hairpin. If you could get up the inside, you could make something happen there. This section here, basically from like turn 3 to the corkscrew, not really a lot of overtaking can be done here. The turns outside of the kink are not really designed for an overtake. The kink is, but the kink is kind of suicidal to go too wide through.
Well, I mean, you just gotta go faster. Then you both make it super easy.
Oh, it's not a speed thing. The kink. Okay, so the deal with the kink is it's a really fast turn. 2, it's a really narrow turn that cambers down towards the apex, which means that the cars are inherently going to slide towards the apex unless they go very wide. And if you go very wide, you end up out on the sand really easily. So it's a dangerous spot. Some breathing room now for Franzen, though. Not much. Maybe a car length. On board with Franzen. Better lap that time around. 25-2. And the battle for the lead is still on. Okay, so we thought that because the fastest lap was recorded by Castagno Mediz that he had pulled way clear, but he's only 1.2 seconds ahead of Max Simmons. So I don't know if it took a while to fire up the tires on that Porsche, but apparently Simmons was running really competitive times and even faster, because the gap before the pit stop was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, something like 5.9, something like 6 seconds, and it's under a second now. So Simmons is coming. Simmons has got the fresh tires, and I assume we'll get some camera action there. Not that I don't want to see this battle between French and Franzen, because this is good stuff, but the battle for the lead would kind of take precedence. On though, that last turn looks really good for French. Very consistent every time through, whereas Franzen, high degree of variability through that final turn from what we've seen. That looks like the spot. So if you're French, I'm gonna get into his head here for a second. You want to stay close, obviously, through the first sector of the track. There's not really a lot of overtaking to be done here unless you're gonna go down the inside of the Andretti hairpin. You're gonna want to be really tight off the corkscrew, absolutely ace rainy curve and the current turn after that, and then bam, you've got your opportunity. See what he does.
Or you can activate the teleporter.
The kink. The old reversal position. Xavier Castagno Mediz under immense pressure, so his best lap was a 23.3, by the way. Simmons has taken that back. Simmons with the fastest lap. So Max Simmons in the anime Mercedes. He's coming by here, Byron. He's got 13 minutes to make this happen. So we got a great battle going on for the lead. Great battle going on for 4th place. Small field today doesn't mean that there can't be some really tense racing.
Well, if you try and race inside a tent, I mean, it's not going to work out.
Tense, sir, not tent.
Oh, they're racing the tents themselves?
Yes.
Interesting.
Robbie Gordon would find a way to race tents. That's I think.
I just envision, so people inside tents with their legs poking out to the bottom and just running around.
Castagno Mediz is getting a little bit wide there on the second last turn. Simmons was not close enough to get to go for it. Looking back at the Franzen French fight. Oh, there we are. We're back. I was trying to figure out what the gap was, and we've been mind read by the camera gap. Don't think French is close enough this time. So the problem for French appears that Franzen seems to be the quicker of the two through the corkscrew and rainy curve. So that when we get to these final 2 turns, where I think Franzen is open to being overtaken, he's just not close enough. He needs to sort out his corkscrew and his rainy curve section and get better through there.
Figured out.
Oh, Max Simmons off track.
Uh-oh.
What happened there? Looked like maybe Simmons made a lunge through the corkscrew that carried on through the rainy curve section. Maybe. Back on board with Franzen. Looking back. Daniel French. Oh. French goes wide there. It's going to highly compromise him heading into the kink and into the corkscrew. Xavier Castagna-Muniz hangs on through the Andretti hairpin. Simmons is getting closer and closer. Both of the tracing cars in these battles looks very confident right now. Simmons, that's not surprising. Number 1, champion. Number 2, fresher tires. But I'm a little surprised with French and Franzen because French came out of the pits notably earlier. So has the older tires of the two, the one that is ingrained with the more sand, possibly the grinding or the graining, possibly blistering, but is doing an excellent job of turning up the heat. Or maybe, just saying it, French did not qualify very well, did not look great in qualifying. I wonder if maybe he's just kind of finally starting to figure out the track. Because he seems very, very quick at the end of the lap and very quick at the beginning of the lap. He just needs to sort out the middle.
Maybe the meth is finally kicking in.
Xavier Castagna-Muniz is being shown in second place. I don't know why. Maybe Simmons managed to get a nose ahead at a timing line or something. There we are. Reset it. Maybe we missed a little side-by-side action coming out of the corkscrew. Because that is where the timing line is. So Franzen's got a little breathing room now at 1.7 seconds. So we'll probably be hanging around the anime car for a little bit here, Byron.
That's all right. Which episode is currently on the side of the car?
I don't know what anime is on the side of his car. We'll have to ask Max.
Max, you big weeb. What's going on there? Can I, if you drive really fast, can I watch One Punch Man on the side of your car?
That'd be intriguing. That'd be something that would happen in Super GT, the Japanese GT series.
Down for that.
They do have some interesting cars in there. Gap closing in the battle for fourth by about 0.4 of a second or 0.3 of a second anyways. Down to 1.4. Make that 1.2.
2.75.
So French definitely the faster of the two. Into the corkscrew? I don't know about that, Max. He was thinking about it. He was thinking about pulling the Alex Zanardi on Brian Herta, circuit 1997, back in Champ Car, well, as it was known at the time, Kart, around here, which is one of the greatest overtakes that somehow didn't result in a penalty. But I don't know how, because Zanardi basically dove across the sand at the corkscrew to make the overtake happen. I guess Kart's view on the matter was, if you're crazy enough and you actually pull off going across the sand at the corkscrew, we're not going to penalize it. The racing gods wanted this to happen. Oh no, Xavier!
He's dead.
Into the wall.
Call the ambulance.
Pull the Spencer Taft. How's the front of the car? Looks like the front of the car's okay. And he'll probably still bring home a second place because he is quite ahead of Sean Kenny. But the last 6 minutes of the race may not be the most pleasant thing in the world for him. Franzen still hanging on against French, but that cushion, that 1.7 second cushion, it's gone. It's not Franson making mistakes, really, because you can see the time comparison there. Fastest time, 24.7. Last lap, 25.2. Doing fine laps. It's just French is really pulling it together now and bringing it in. There's a car up ahead of them. I wonder if that's a blue flagged car, because that feels way too close to actually be Sean Kenny, and I am correct. It is Remco Ingetima, who's up ahead. See if that blue flag maybe... Oh, never mind. We're going to go side by side in the kink. We're going to go side by side in the kink. Here we go. And Franson gets kind of dumpstered.
It was a calculated error, but man, he is bad at math.
That is what happens when two cars try to go through the kink, and it was reported to the stewards, so there may be a penalty there. Haven't looked at it in detail myself.
Everybody gets 72 penalties.
That was actually the only report I got for this race. So, once again, guys, clean, fun racing, because we didn't really see anything during the race. We have 4.5 minutes here to go still, but we only really saw the hip check between Kenny and Taft, which was resolved by the gentleman's conduct. Don't imagine that Franson can catch up to anything with the damage to the front end of that car. That was a heavy frontal contact. And similar to what you see with Castaño Muniz, who was battling for the lead with Max Simmons, is now 11, 12 seconds behind. That was only a couple laps ago. Still a solid outing for France, and this would be a third consecutive top 5. For the silver-rated driver. I believe a second consecutive club victory was the winner at Suzuka, if memory serves.
He will henceforth be elevated to Diamond and Crescent Platinum.
Oh.
And be given 72,000 kilograms of ballast.
I don't think they actually want that, though. So the unfortunate thing about Franson and Xavier headbutting the wall is don't really have any battles here for the last 2.5 minutes. So I've applied the scoring, so I'll be able to go right to that after the race. Enjoy the sounds of the engines.
Unless, of course, you have tinnitus.
That'd be less than awesome, man. Riding on board with Max Simmons, he takes the final lap on the way to, would it be a third consecutive victory for him and his 4th of the season? Winner at Kyalami, Imola, Suzuka, and now Laguna Seca. Also had 3 additional podiums, second at Zandvoort and Hungaroring, and a third at Barcelona. He was on the podium for 70% of the races this season, 7 out of 10 starts. On the way to what is going to be a dominant championship win, because he's going to win this championship by 140 points.
That sounds like kind of a lot.
It's about 3 races worth of points. Xavier Castaño Muniz on his way to second place in the race and second place in the championship. Sean Kenny on his way to third place in the race and third place in the championship. In fact, it goes further because Dan French in fourth place in the race, also fourth in the championship.
I think the fix is in.
The leader has finished the race.
Checkered flag for Max Simmons. What'll be interesting is the gap between French and Franzen, if there is a penalty to be had for that kink overtake. Castaño Muniz in second place. But I don't think it's going to matter, because I'm seeing a 17-second gap. And I'll give you a little spoiler here, a little inside on the steward's head, because I am the steward. Can't see it being a tier 3 penalty. It's tier 2 or nothing, I think. And that would only be 10 seconds. Just await Dash Franzen to finish the race. Not sure where they are out on track right now. Oh, there we go. So Max Simmons, your champion, with 436 points, ahead of Xavier Castaño Muniz, 296, 284 for Sean Kenny, 270 for Dan French, and 254 for Thomas Nopek. That is your top 5. And in the team's championship, 650 points for Red Bull Racing. They are the winners, ahead of AXRT on 468, 905 Racers on 339, 237 for Nitro Corsa Racing, and 121 for 613 Racers. And then in the club championship, Spencer Taft, doff the hat to you as you pick up the championship with 171 points, ahead of Jeremy Reeder's 156, 141 for Ayrton Arsenault, Dash Franzen on 112, and Oscar Tan 104. So congratulations to everybody. See you next season, or on the 3D Speed Grid, as a number of these drivers are on there, including Max Simmons, who is dominating in a Honda somehow. And Byron, do you have any final thoughts?
Cheese is just a loaf of milk.